Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Start video.
You don't want to see yourself too much, no?
No.
Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees in today's session. Today we are very fortunate to have with us the association of His Holiness Mahavishnu Swami Maharaj. His Holiness Mahavishnu Swami Maharaj appeared in this world on 10th of February 1945 in Birmingham, United Kingdom. And he entered the Academy of Arts at the age of 19 and graduated with honors in fine arts. And after coming across Srila Prabhupada's teaching, he became a full-time temple renunciate in 1971. And the same year, he was initiated by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And as Srila Prabhupada requested all his disciples to assist in the mission of preaching Krishna consciousness all over the world, so Maharaj, following Srila Prabhupada's instructions, in 1976, he first visited India and traveled extensively throughout India with the PBT Library Party, very extensively. Just in next year, 1977, Maharaj became involved in various projects throughout Nepal and India. And under the guidance of His Holiness Mahavishnu Swami Maharaj, he also traveled widely in the world to raise funds to build temples in Nepal, including the beautiful Rup Sanatan temple in Jaisur, Swami Bhat in Dhaka, that is in Bangladesh, and the Sri Radha Govindhari temple in Kathmandu, Nepal. And in 1984, Maharaj accepted the sannyas order of life, and from 1990, Maharaj started initiating disciples, accepting disciples, and he took up this task in the spirit of being one of Prabhupada's monitor gurus. Presently, Maharaj is preaching extensively in the much neglected African continent, as well as in India, Nepal, and the UK, and other parts of Europe. We are very grateful to Maharaj. He has accepted our request to come here to guide us at this most needed time. And let us express our gratitude to Maharaj by one time loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra with raised hands. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. His Holiness Mahavishnu Swami Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Some sound now.
Hello? No. Hello? Something came there. Hello? Hare Krishna?
Maharaj, your sound is coming, but little low.
It's low, yeah?
No, it's all right.
Hello? Can you hear now?
Yes, Maharaj, we can hear you.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It's a very nice occasion for me. I'm in Bali, Indonesia, and supposed to be Paradise Island. So we're locked down in paradise for fear of our life. So that's the reality of material existence. Dukalayam Shashvatam, Mamo Pachadakontia, Dukalayam. Krishna certifies this world as a place which is temporary and full of misery. So still we're so foolish, we're thinking we can be happy. There's no light on my face, no? It's very dark. Maybe I should. Haribol, Shyam, Sabya. So I'll move the table so that the light is on my face. Otherwise, it's just. I think move the table this way, then the light will be on my face. Just move the whole table.
No, this is connected. I have to move it.
Oh no.
Then I'll just position everything.
Hare Krishna. Hello?
Krishna Maharaj.
Okay. Just getting adjusted. You see my face for what it's worth? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. So yes, Bali, if you've never been to Bali, it's a tropical island. I suppose it's a bit like Kerala. It's palm trees, banana trees, lots of coconuts. We have many temples here. It's only a small island. It's only 5,000 square kilometers. There's 5,000 devotees. One devotee for every square kilometer. This is good. Yeah. So I chose a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, which came to mind when I was asked to give this talk. So, and it's a Bhagavatam class basically. So I sing Jai Radha Madhava, and what I will request, I have a special kind of Zoom class, and that is, I request you all turn off your mutes, because I like to hear you singing, even though you're in different places, and though it's very ragged, still it's Shravanam Kirtanam. So it's inspiring, you know, to hear this process going on. Even though musically it's not up to much. But the tune, the raga continues. There's a pause, of course, because the Zoom pause has to be there. You're all the way from India, on the internet. So there's a pause. I'll allow for that. I'll stop playing when you sing. And then I'll repeat the next line, and then I'll stop playing when you sing again. Actually, it's nice. It takes a bit of getting used to. You think, well, this is crazy. But actually, we're all in our own space anyway. We're all individual spirit souls. We all have our problems, we have our personality, we have our relationships. I'm not you and you're not me. This is our philosophy. Natvevaham jatuna sam, natam nimijanadipa, nachaiva bhavishyama savevayamata. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. We're all individuals. And so each of us have an eternal relationship with Krishna. So it's not so bad to have, you know, it's not like that we're all together physically in the same room when the Shravanam Kirtan can sound professional, so-called. But this is Zoom Kirtan. This is Zoom Kirtan, so try and get used to it. Please turn off your mutes. Everyone turn off your mutes. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, Maharaj. Our children getting the.
Still 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, Maharaj. Our children.
Try there's a few more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10 people haven't muted. They're unmuted, sorry. Okay. Laughing. This is not funny. No laughing.
This is not funny.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Not Achahe. Very good. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Varadhari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari.
Jaya Gopi
Jana Vallabha Varadhari.
Yashodanandana Vraja Janarandana Yashodanandana Vraja Janarandana
Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Vraja Janarandana
Yashodanandana Vraja
Jana Vraja Janaranjana
मैं करताल बजा देता हूँ।
Yamuna Tera Vanachari Yamuna Tera Vanachari
Vanachari.
Radha Madhava Rabihari
Jaya Radha Madhava
Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari
Gopi Jana
Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janarandana Yashodanandana Vraja Janarandana Yashodanandana Vraja Janarandana Yashodanandana Vraja Janarandana Yamuna Tera Vanachari Yamuna Tera Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo Hari Bol
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Ram
Hare Rama 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 Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare,
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare
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 Hare,
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama, Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Hare Rama
Madhava,
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Radha
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Hare Hare
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Hare
Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivakacharya Stokam Sisaman. The Divine Grace of Vaishnava and Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Jai.
ISKCON founder, BPT founder, Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Jai.
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivakacharya Asutosa Sisaman. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Jai.
Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki.
Jai.
Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai.
Jai.
Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita. Let's hear you. You can unmute. I want to hear you jaying. You turn on your mutes again. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki.
Jai.
Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath, Shama Kund Radha Kund, Giri Govardhana Ki,
Jai.
Mathura Vrindavan Dharma Ki, Navadvip Mayapur Dharma ki.
Jai.
Jagannath Puri Dharma ki.
Jai.
ISKCON Mayapur Dharma ki.
Jai.
ISKCON Vrindavan Dharma ki.
Jai.
Yamuna Maya Ganga Maya ki.
Jai.
Srimati Tulsi Devi ki. Bhakti Devi ki.
Jai.
Sri Harinam Sankirtan ki.
Jai.
Mantra ki.
Jai.
Transcendental book distribution ki.
Jai.
Transcendental prasadam distribution ki.
Jai.
Transcendental cow protection ki.
Jai.
Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda ki.
Jai.
Oh, Premanande.
Hare
Oh, glorious assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, glorious assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Glorious to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Glorious to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Oh, glorious to the Prabhupada. His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj King. Thank you.
His Holiness Mahavishnu Swami Maharaj ki.
That was really good.
Very nice.
Very good for the first time. But I get you dancing and singing. Usually I stand up and dance. But I forgot. I just somehow or other I forgot. We could try it just for 2 minutes. Everybody stand. Okay? Everyone stand. Turn off your mutes. Everyone stand, please. Everyone stand, please, in your own homes or wherever you are, in your lockdowns. We can have a little standing kirtan also. There's no hard and fast rule, actually. There's no hard and fast rule for chanting the holy names. So we can go, try our best. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Turn off your mutes, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
You're all muted, you guys. What's going on? Stop this muting. This Shravanam Kirtanam going on here. Shravanam Kirtanam means you have to hear. Shravanam is hearing and chanting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 mutes on this page. There's 20 on this page. Don't be so... Please, come on. Turn off your mutes. I'm sorry. This is the process. Shravanam Kirtanam. So turn off your mutes, please. Turn off your mutes, please. आपका म्यूट cancel हो गया. Who's the host here? Host? Is there any host? Who's the host? Please turn off your mutes.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj.
Mutes.
Love you, Maharaj.
This is not Bhakti Yoga. This is mute yoga.
Everyone is crying now.
We're becoming Moni Baba. We're becoming Moni Baba.
Mute yoga. Mute.
Moni Baba, Moni Baba.
Dance time.
On this page, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
paradisiaque comme la Martinique, alors là.
अभी करवाएंगे
Gopinath Pachyam, you're muted. Premanath, you're muted. Gurasen Das, you're muted. Ambika, you're muted. Chaitanya, you're muted. Amila Das, you're muted. Vandana Sen, you're muted. Lokeshwar, you're muted. Anta Krishna, you're muted. Hari Krishna, you're muted. Parashuram, you're muted. Priya, you're muted. Surat Mitravati, you're muted.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Surat Akshara, you're muted. Radhikeshwari, you're muted. Eva Sadhya, you're muted. Hari Priya, you're muted.
Chaque personne
Ram Chandra, you're muted. Surat Akshara, you're
Chaque
muted.
personne qui est mieux donne le nom de la personne.
Radhikeshwari, you're muted.
Lui, son nom est écrit sur le papier. Il voit quelqu'un, le nom s'appelle.
Vinaya Chaitanya, you're muted. Haribol, I'm not Pagal. Shravanam Kirtanam. Who's hosting this?
Yes, Maharaj.
Can you turn off the mutes, please? Make an
Please
announcement.
mute. Everybody, please
Unmute, unmute.
Thank you.
Unmute.
Yes, Maharaj.
There's 30 people.
go ahead Maharaj
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Ram
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Everyone should stand up. No one's dancing.
Yes, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
C'est déprimé à côté de quelqu'un comme ça.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Bhagavatam class. Listen. Stand up, please. Ujjain. Want to see you dancing.
Hare Krishna
Stand up, please. Put your videos on. Put your videos on and start dancing. Unmute. Put your
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Let's I go, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare Bo.
Hare Bol
Hare Ram
Let's I go, Hare Bo, Hare
Jai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol. जय तो वहां से फोन करना
Jai Prabhupada.
और तीन आ रहा है
प्रभुपाद
एक दो तीन एक दो तीन
Hey, Harinam Sankirtan ki.
Jai.
Master ki.
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम
You can mute now. You put your mutes on now. Put your mutes on now, please.
वीडियो ऑन करिए
Okay, mutes. Put your mutes on. It's nice to see your faces, though. You won't show your faces? I can't see your faces. Nobody's got your faces on. Put your mutes on now. I'm going to give the class. Thank you. But it's nice to see your faces. Otherwise, you're just blanked. I can only see your names. You don't have any. You have video on your phone? No. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Now I can't hear you again.
Devaya.
This we're hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, Text 43. Okay? Canto 1, Chapter 3, Text 43. Krishna Svadama Bhagate. Listen, take off your mutes now. We want some participation. This is interactive, you know. I can't just give a class and there's no response. It's ridiculous. Turn on off your mutes, please.
Krishna Sadamopagate.
Who's hosting? Who's hosting this zone?
Krishna
No,
Sadamopagate.
I'm not asking you to lead. Can you turn off your mutes, please? I don't know. I should give up then. Shall I give up?
Hare Krishna.
Nobody's in charge here.
We are
Hosting.
requesting devotees, but some are not accepting, Maharaj. Many are accepting it.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Krishna Swadama Bhagate.
Krishna Sadhama Pagate.
Nama Jnana Nibesaha.
Dharma Jnana Divisa.
Nastadrisam.
Jnana Divisa. Nastadrisam.
Purana Kodita.
વિડીયો બંધ છે ને નહીતર આવો દેખાય છે
Sadama Bhagate.
Krishna Sadama Bhagate.
Nama Jnana Nibesaha. Kalo Nastadrisam. Purana Kodunodita. Oh, you got the verse, that's nice. Okay. This Bhagavata Purana is as brilliant as the sun,
यह भागवत
and
पुराण
it has
सूर्य के समान
arisen
तेजस्वी
just
है
after
और
the
धर्म
departure
ज्ञान आदि के साथ कृष्ण द्वारा अपने धाम चले जाने के बाद ही इसका उदय हुआ। जिन लोगों ने कलयुग में अज्ञान के कारण अंधकार के
Hold
कारण
on,
अपनी दृष्टि
hold
खो
on.
दी है, उन्हें इस पुराण से प्रकाश प्राप्त होगा।
Oops. What happened here? Okay. Okay. Well, you can do the translation afterwards, you know. Or shall I hear the translation? Or shall I just read in English? What do you want?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Actually, Hindi translation is going on another page, so we can continue in English.
Okay, because I heard the translation going on. It was coming in my ears.
Yes, Maharaj. It was going on another platform. It was being heard.
Okay. This Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Lord Sri Krishna has his eternal dham, or abode, where he eternally enjoys himself with his eternal associates and paraphernalia. And his eternal abode is a manifestation of his internal energy, whereas the material world is a manifestation of his external energy. When he descends on the material world, he displays himself with all paraphernalia in his internal potency, which is called Atma Maya. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that he descends by his own potency, Atma Maya. His form, name, fame, paraphernalia, abode, etc. are not therefore creations of matter. He descends to reclaim the fallen souls and to reestablish the codes of religion which are directly enacted by him. Except for God, no one can establish the principles of religion. Either he or a suitable person empowered by him can dictate the codes of religion. Real religion means to know God, our relationship with him, and our duties in relation with him, and to know ultimately our destination after leaving this material body. The conditioned souls who are entrapped, or we can say locked down, by the material energy, hardly know all these principles of life. Most of them are like animals, engaged in eating, sleeping, fearing, and defending. They are mostly engaged in sense enjoyment under the pretension of religiosity, knowledge, or salvation. They are still more blind in the present age of quarrel or Kali Yuga. In the Kali Yuga, the population is just a royal edition of the animals. They have nothing to do with spiritual knowledge or godly religious life. They are so blind, they cannot see anything beyond the needs of the body. They have no information of the spirit soul beyond the jurisdiction of the subtle mind, intelligence, or ego. but they are very much proud of their advancement in knowledge, science, and material prosperity. They can risk their lives to become a dog or hog just after leaving the present body, for they have completely lost sight of the ultimate aim of life. The personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, appeared before us just a little prior to the beginning of Kali Yuga, and he returned to his eternal home practically at the commencement of Kali Yuga. While he was present, he exhibited everything by his different activities. He spoke the Bhagavad Gita specifically and eradicated all pretentious principles of religiosity. And prior to his departure from this material world, he empowered Sri Vyasadeva through Narada to compile the messages of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And thus, both the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam are like torch bearers for the blind people of this age. In other words, if men in this age of Kali want to see the real light of life, they must take to these two books only, and the aim of life will be fulfilled. Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study of the Bhagavatam, and Srimad Bhagavatam is the summum bonum of life, Lord Sri Krishna personified. We must therefore accept Srimad Bhagavatam as the direct representation of Lord Krishna. One who can see Srimad Bhagavatam can see also Lord Sri Krishna in person. They are identical. Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasme Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Makom Karoti Vachalam, Pangam Langaite Girim, Yat Kripa Tadaham Vande, Shri Gurun Dinatarinam. So Krishna is making all arrangements for us because he's Suridam Sarva Bhutanam, he's a friend of everyone, especially for his devotees. Nadve Shausti Na Priya, Ye Bhajanti Chamam Bhaktya. So we are worshipping Krishna, we're chanting Hare Krishna, we're taking Krishna Prasadam, we're part of ISKCON, we have our Guru Dev, we have our Param Guru Dev, we have our Para Guru Dev, we have our Paramasti Guru Dev, we have a whole disciplic succession coming from Krishna himself to give us strength, to empower us actually. So this is the process of spiritual life. Krishna is in charge. Krishna knows what's going on. Nothing is happening by chance. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha Anadiradi Govindam Savakarana Karanam. And we've all been born, or we've already taken our shelter in this family of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Lord Brahma, he was instructed by, enlightened by the flute playing of Krishna and the instructions of Krishna. He instructed Narada, his son. Narada, his son, instructed us. You all know this. Coming down through Lord Chaitanya, the 6 Goswamis, and the followers of the 6 Goswamis, Narottam, Srinivas, and Shamananda, coming down all the way down. This is the system of receiving transcendental knowledge. Evam parampara praptam, imam raja sayo vidu. Actually, this knowledge is meant for the leaders of society, the kings, the presidents, and the people up top. And we're supposed to be the leaders of the leaders. This is our family business. Of course, we know our family business is printing books, writing books, distributing books. But we're all part of the same family of preaching the Krishna consciousness. And especially, we're in Prabhupada's family. Prabhupada is a very special family. And Prabhupada even said there's ISKCON in the spiritual world. Some of you may not like that. There's even, because we don't know what is the reality. Maya is so strong. Even though we're in ISKCON and we're devotees and we have initiated names following the 4 principles, Maya is very strong. We identify with this body, our family, so on. But because that's not bad, because we've engaged them all in Krishna service. So Maya is so strong that we think that now we're alone because our spiritual master has left us, has departed this world. So we may think we're alone, but that's not true. And I expect you've heard this before. But I'd like to, can I share with you something? It seems to be an appropriate moment. I don't usually talk about this, but maybe it'll encourage you to understand this point, that when Krishna departed, then the Srimad Bhagavatam arose, Bhagavad Gita arose to dissipate the darkness of ignorance and bless everyone's heart. It has risen like the shining sun. Krishna is for Dhamma Bhagavati, Dhamma Jnana Divisa, Kalor Nastadrishamisha, Purana Kodanodita. It's just like the shining arca, like the shining sun. And we're lost in ignorance. So you may think, well, what's a book to me? What is a book to me? I lost my spiritual master. He's passed away. I can't see him. I can't serve him directly. But no, that's not true. So I want to tell you a story. Can I tell you a story? So, of course, I was in India in 1976, and we joined the DVT Library Party. And we were traveling in South India, and we were selling sets of Bhagavatams to the colleges and schools. Some of you may have got those Bhagavatams in your colleges and schools. You may see the ones that we arranged for, like with the librarians and the professors. So we were coming into Hyderabad, we had one minibus, and there was one driver. He was a Muslim driver, and there were about 6 of us, 5 or 6 of us. And we were just fully engaged in distributing Prabhupada's books. Actually, I had jaundice at that time. I was taking too many limcas and cold drinks to try and keep cool. So I had some problem with my liver, so jaundice. Anyway, we came into Hyderabad temple, and the temple president came out to meet us in the car park. And he said to us, "Oh, Srila Prabhupada is very sick in Vrindavan. Prabhupada is very sick in Vrindavan. And he's saying all the devotees should go to Vrindavan because Prabhupada wanted to be surrounded by his disciples and when he left his body." So we had the temple president, he said this. But the problem was the driver had already given us the keys to the van. And he said, "I'll be back on Monday." We came in on Saturday. And he said, I have to go to the dentist. I think it was an excuse. Anyway, he said, "I'll be back on Monday morning early." Because we were on the way to Bombay. So we were in a fix. We didn't have a driver. So the temple president said, "Anyway, you stay the weekend. And please give the Sunday talk at the Sunday program. Please give the Sunday talk." So what could we do? We were stuck. Otherwise, we could have started driving to Vrindavan a long, long way. Very long, long way. I don't know how long it would have taken. It's a shorter distance to Bombay than from Hyderabad to Vrindavan. So we agreed and we stayed the weekend. I gave the class, had some kirtan. Because we were worried Prabhupada's leaving. You know what the temple president said? I forgot to tell you. He said, "We're always getting these telegrams. They say Prabhupada is leaving. He doesn't leave. Don't worry, he won't leave." He said like that. He said, "Don't worry, Prabhupada won't leave." So we said, "Okay, do the Sunday program. We'll go on Monday morning." Can you hear? Can everyone hear?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay, you can hear everyone?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. So then Monday morning, sharp, the driver arrived. And we all got in the van, traveling Sankirtan van. I think it was a Matador. Pretty rinky-dinky vehicle. And so we started driving to Bombay. Hyderabad to Bombay is no mean drive. And the same driver, he must have had nerves of steel. He just kept going and going and going. And as far as I know, we arrived early Tuesday morning. So we were all brahmacharis. We all just went and crashed out in the brahmachari room in Bombay. At that time, the Bombay temple was being built. Anyway, I forgot where we slept, but anyway, we slept. And then, early in the morning, just like 3:30, 4 o'clock, because we didn't sleep for long, we got in about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Then one devotee was crying at the foot of where I was sleeping on my mat. We just sleep on the mat, right? And this devotee was crying. I said, "What happened? Why are you crying?" "Prabhupada has gone. Prabhupada has left." So there was general panic. some devotees were shaving their heads. Chitananda Swami said everyone should shave their heads. Somebody went down to Churchgate Station in Bombay to try and book a carriage, a train carriage, for all the devotees to take one train to go to Mathura from Bombay. So this is what we were doing. We just, so some devotees were crying. Now, I couldn't cry. I don't know why. I just couldn't cry. Because there's a verse in Bhagavatam that says, the disciples, they cry when their spiritual master leaves. Somehow I couldn't cry. I didn't know what to do. So anyway, we all got on the train. And I think it must have been in the evening we got on the train. And of course, the train takes a long time from Bombay to Mathura. And then somehow or other, we arrived in Vrindavan. And it was the third day. His samadhi had been done. Maybe, hold on, maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe it was the second day. Anyway, Prabhupada's body had been put in the samadhi. You could just see the sand, there were some stones. There was a picture of Prabhupada, there were some flowers. There was no building then. It was just sand and so on. Because no time for preparation. So then, I had jaundice, so I thought I better take rest somewhere quiet, isolated, quarantined. I thought the jaundice could be infectious. So I thought I didn't want to sleep with the devotees. So I found a room in the new Gurukul building. It was a new Gurukul building. All on my own, it was just a room, No furniture, nothing. I was just sleeping on the floor. It was very hot. So that night, I had a wonderful dream. And of course you won't believe me, maybe, but it wasn't really a dream. It was a special vision. And it was like waking life. I was standing there in front of the temple, the main gate of the temple, Krishna Balaram Mandir. And then Prabhupada was there. And he was welcoming me to Krishna Balaram Mandir. Because, we'd been distributing Prabhupada's books and day in, day out, slugging it out, going to librarians, getting orders. And it was very austere, actually. And we were sending our reports into Srila Prabhupada. And Tamal Krishna said, your reports of the Srimad Bhagavatam standing orders is giving him life. The book distribution we were doing is giving him life. So there was Prabhupada. He's standing in front of me. Now, I've never, Bhakti Charu Swami had so much association with Prabhupada. My association with Prabhupada a few times. I only talked with him, maybe 2 or 3 questions I asked him. I wasn't a close associate, part of his paraphernalia. Just like Krishna has his paraphernalia and his associates. It's mentioned in this verse. So I can see Prabhupada had his close associates, like Bhakti Charu Swami and others. They were always by his side, in very intimate relations with him. But I wasn't like that. Because, for various reasons, I had a different role to play. I was out in the field distributing the books. And, you know, so I had a different role to play in Prabhupada's mission when he was on this planet. Bhakti Charu was cooking for Swadam, for Prabhupada. And talking to him in Bengali, which he liked very much. So he had untold leaders with Prabhupada, whereas I had just a few. And nothing intimate. You can't say anything intimate. Except one time Prabhupada was in Bombay, he was very sick, and we were chanting by his bed. But it wasn't intimate. He was just lying in bed, we were singing. So anyway, Prabhupada was standing there in front of me, and he put out his arms to embrace me. Now that was just something totally amazing. Prabhupada never did that to me before. There was no question of Prabhupada embracing me. You know, I was always feeling distant from Prabhupada. I didn't want to be too close to him. I was feeling shy, you know, reserved. So it was amazing. All of a sudden, Prabhupada standing there and smiling, and like he's thanking me, and thanking me for traveling and sacrificing my health, everything, and embracing me like a father. I mean, this experience is something, is always just in my heart. I can never forget it. So then, you know what happened? Then I started crying. I couldn't cry when I heard the news Prabhupada had left. I couldn't cry. But then I started crying because here he was, Prabhupada, embracing me like a father, and he was so grateful to me. And I just was so thankful to him that I couldn't help crying. And then you know what happened? You won't believe this, but it actually happened. Then Prabhupada turned into a big Srimad Bhagavatam. And I was embracing the Srimad Bhagavatam. That's the vision that I have. Prabhupada turned into the Bhagavatam. And whilst I was embracing him, then I was embracing the Bhagavatam. That's actually what happened. So I felt so relieved and blissful. I was just like in trance after that. I thought, Prabhupada waited for me. He waited for me, you know, just to welcome me back to Vrindavan. And he, you know, he's alive. And those words of Bhaktivinoda Thakur have always stuck in my mind. They're very important to me. It's on the Samadhi of Haridas Thakur in Jagannath Puri. He reasons ill, that means he thinks badly, who think that Vaishnavas die when they're living still in sound. The Vaishnavas die to live, and living spread the holy name around. He reasons ill. In other words, you got it wrong. That's a misconception that the spiritual master dies. It's a misconception. Of course, the body is mortal. That vapu is temporary, goes into samadhi or whatever. But he's living still in sound. Vani. Vaishnava dies to live. And living spreads the holy name around. And just look at Prabhupada. How did he spread this Sankirtan movement after his Guru Maharaj had passed away? How did he do it? Because he always felt he felt that his Guru Maharaj was by his side. From that very moment he met his Guru Maharaj in Ulta Danga in Calcutta. He said, I felt I had met a really nice Vaishnava who was capable of spreading the Krishna consciousness, a real spiritual master. And I took him within my heart. Later on, he met the disciples in Allahabad, and he helped to build the Rupa Goswami Gaudiya Math in Allahabad. And when the local temple president, I think Achyutananda, he was called Achyutananda, introduced Babu Day, what's he called? Abhay Charan Babu, Abhay Babu, introduced Abhay Babu because he was Abhay Charan Day. And then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, yes, I remember him. Yes, I remember him. So they were surprised. And Prabhupada was given first and second initiation at the time of the installation of the deities in Allahabad. Anyway, so the point is that Prabhupada started this movement with his Guru Maharaj by his side. And he never felt alone, Prabhupada. So to tell you the truth, I never felt alone either. Tell you the truth, I never felt alone. I don't see why anyone should feel alone. Because we have Guru, we have connection with Guru. Acharyan Purusha Veda. One who has an Acharya, or spiritual master, then he knows the Vedic scriptures. He has realization of spiritual knowledge. So I was asked to give this talk. I was thinking I won't talk about this thing because I keep it private, more private. But since it's a touching occasion, Bhakti Charu Swami I wasn't so close to him. I wasn't one of his personal, you could say, friends. I wasn't in his circuit. Occasionally we met, and he did help me. He very sincerely tried to help me on different occasions. When my mind was, my mind sometimes gets extreme. And he calmed me down in a very sweet way, like a friend, like a, how can you say, a very gentle way, not in an authoritarian way. He's a very sweet person. He was very sweet to me. And it's as though he understood where I was at, but he was trying to always keep me calm down. I mean, you can see I'm in the mode of passion. Want to get everyone to stand up and dance on Zoom. No, actually, I've done it. We've done it before. We do it in the Bali Kirtan, Nepal Kirtan. But it takes a little practice before everyone gets on their feet, unmutes and dances and sings. But it's really nice. So Bhakti Charu was not, you can say, my close friend. And but I could admire him so much for what he did. And you all know you've been hearing about that. But my point is that let's make this misconception that our spiritual master has left. If the Guru Parampara was not behind Prabhupada, if Guru Maharaj wasn't behind Prabhupada and with Prabhupada, how could he do what he did? It's impossible. So every one of us who is in connection with our spiritual master is empowered to do like that. Why not? Why not? This is the meaning of Guru. The spiritual master, Guru is one actually. Guru is representative of Krishna. Guru is giving the same message as Krishna. Of course, we have attachment for Vapu, and that's important also for his personal form, and we can't forget that. Therefore, we have the samadhi and so on. But Prabhupada has said several occasions, Vani is more important than Vapu. So the Vani in coming in disciplic succession, we must take this as our life and soul for spreading this movement. And Bhakti Charu is close associate of Prabhupada, part of Prabhupada's family. So this is my recommendation. Please don't worry. Dance and chant and sing. Be happy. I'm sure your spiritual master, Bhakti Charu, is our Shiksha Guru also. There are so many gurus. Bande Gurun, Isha Bhaktan, Isha Bhaktan, Bande Gurun, Isha Bhaktan. There are many kinds of gurus. Shiksha Gurus, Diksha Gurus, and so on. The Prabhupada says Guru is one because they represent Krishna. So don't be disappointed, please. Let's get on with the job of serving Srila Prabhupada in Prabhupada's family. That will please Bhakti Charu, I know. And because he's a great preacher. And so I'm sure he wants us to go further and further in the preaching work. We've got a lot of work to do. So just remember that Krishna is Dhamma Bhagate Dhamma Jnana Divisa Kalona Sadrishamesh Purana Kodana. So although Krishna left, the Bhagavatam is there, Bhagavad Gita is there, the words of your Guru Maharaj are there, his lectures, his classes, his example, your personal experience, your personal association with him. And keep that in your heart of hearts. That's your connection with Prabhupada and disciplic succession. So thank you very much. I hope this helps. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, I've gone over a bit time. So if anyone has any questions, I can give more time also. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami ki. The disciples of Bhakti Charu Swami ki. ISKCON Bhaktivinoda ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, there is one question.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, Maharaj. We can hear you. Thank you for...
Was the class okay?
Yes, Maharaj. I'm just reading out the question. Then you can share some. Thank you for sharing such a wonderful dream that Srila Prabhupada became Srimad Bhagavatam while he was embracing you. Maharaj, my question is that since Guru Maharaj has left from this planet, there is constant restlessness in my heart, as if there is emptiness, as if I have become a restless child. I getting this intense desire to be with Gurudev and just be with him. He first time embraced me at the Soho Street Temple, and as if I am now seeking same loving embrace from Maharaj. My mind is constantly thinking that what can I do for Guru Maharaj, and how do I go about it? So Maharaj, please advise what can be done in such a situation.
He didn't give you any specific instructions. My question. Whoever wrote this, I'm asking, did he give you any specific instructions?
Manu Prabhu, you can unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Salvation Prabhupada. Maharaj, he obviously gave a lot of instructions in due course of time. When he met me at Soul Street, it was in 2002 and 3. And after that, there were many things Maharaj has said and I'm tried to do. But of late, I could not get Maharaj's association. And therefore, I wrote an email to him in the first week of June, and where I asked him to give me some direction, whether I need to move back to London or go to Ujjain or go to Mayapur, do something specifically in Orlando. But of course, Maharaj went through this situation. So my heart is still very paining and aching as to how do I receive these instructions from Maharaj now. So
he gave you instruction? He gave you instruction?
in general, he said many things, Maharaj. He was particularly wanting me to start some business and give Lakshmi and donation to the service of Srila Prabhupada. I tried, I made a couple of attempts and I failed. So thereafter, I have given up all that. So that is also feeling in the heart.
But what was his last instruction? Specific instruction to you. I have to answer that. I have to get the answer to this because otherwise I'll just give a general answer. But if he's giving you a specific instruction, then you should follow that.
Last instruction, he said to me that now that I have family, I must look after children well and do my Krishna consciousness in the circumstances that I am. Try to preach, read Bhagavad Gita before I go to work, and make sure that I follow principles of Srila Prabhupada. He also mentioned that I should read Manu Samhita and make sure that I teach the principles of Manu Samhita to everybody.
Amazing. So there's your Guru Maharaj in his Vani form. He's giving you so many instructions. Personal. What more do you want? Vani is, Prabhupada clearly said, Vani is more important than Vapu. You have much more personal, specific instructions than I have. What did he say to me? I can't even remember what he said to me. Prabhupada, I got the same instructions that everybody did. We have to preach this movement, and so you're better off than me. He told you to look after your family and follow the principles and hear the Bhagavad Gita before you go out. Preach Manu Samhita.
Yes, Maharaj.
Oh, that's interesting. Manu Samhita.
It was in response to my question to him that he named me as Manu Das. So I asked him what is Manu means, and then he explained in that context. He told me at the manner that at the time of initiation, which I didn't take it seriously that time, but then later after I'm thinking that Maharaj said to me that you read Manu Samhita and you kind of teach about Manu Samhita's principles to others. So I have not explored that part of the instruction.
So if you want to be with your Guru Maharaj, you be with him by following his instructions. Simple. And you're no separation. Prabhupada said, I'm never separated from my Guru Maharaj. Although that was years afterwards, he was crossing the Atlantic all alone, but he was never alone. So you have your work cut out for you. You just follow his order. You'll be happy. The Guru Maharaj will bless you. That's all we have to do. Follow his order.
Yes, Maharaj.
I don't think you have to worry, Don't feel alone. He's with you in his order, his instructions. You're very fortunate, actually. I didn't get any specific instruction from Prabhupada. I was just, one of the bhaktas. I don't think he even knew my name. Prabhupada, I don't know whether Prabhupada knew my name. So, but I wasn't worried because Prabhupada's instructions are everywhere. And the general instructions for every spiritual master in ISKCON. Most of the next generation disciples are going to lose their physical form of their spiritual master sooner or later. My disciples also. How long can I last? 75 already, and now they can't just be attached to my stooly old body, but they can be attached to the example and whatever words I've made, and that will carry them forward in spiritual life. And most of all, Bhakti Charu is always teaching, read the books of Prabhupada. I'm teaching my disciples, read the books of Prabhupada, follow the instructions of Prabhupada. Because Prabhupada is our preeminent Shiksha Guru. I'm also a student in Prabhupada's class. And I think Bhakti Charu is also feeling the same. He's also a student of Prabhupada. Prabhupada taught him everything. So we're also free to take shelter of Prabhupada. Not that we jump over our Guru, but our spiritual masters instructing us. Take shelter of Prabhupada. So please don't feel despondent. No, you've got a lot of service to do for your Guru Maharaj. And he's given you specific instructions. So please don't worry. Thank you, Manu. I don't know whether I know you personally, but I think I know you personally now.
I've seen you many times at Soul Street. I've taken your darshan many times. I was there in London for 11 years and very fortunate. So thank you so much for your appearance here and solace our hearts and the beautiful realization that you've shared. I'll try to follow what you've just said. As I mentioned that there's always this constant restlessness in the heart. And
so that's also good. That means you're so much attached to your Guru Maharaj. So then, you have to transfer that to his Vani form. That attachment for his emptiness in your heart, you have to fill up with service to his Vani. You could do your Bapu Seva, you could serve his form in so many ways. Now you have to serve his Vani, his instructions. Make that your life and soul. And actually your question is very nice because I think everyone's got a similar question. So I'm trying to speak to everyone through you. Through you. So I know from personal experience, that the Prabhupada is there in his Vani form. In his words. And Bhakti Charu, so many lectures he's written, and he's translated so many books. He's written individual books also, Bhakti Charu. He's written some books.
Yes, Maharaj, it is Ocean of Mercy.
Yes, that's nice. I'll have to try and read that. So thank you very much, Hare Krishna. Any other questions?
No, Maharaj, so far we don't have any other question. So we are very much thankful and grateful to you, Maharaj, for giving your time and such a nice kirtan. This was the first time we had a Zoom kirtan where most of the devotees were unmuted and they were able to, generally they able to participate, but this time we can feel that we can hear to them that how they are participating in the kirtan and all. And it was so much encouraging for all of us. It was heartfelt and soul-soothing interaction with you, Maharaj.
Yes,
so thank you very much.
We all feel all together. When we can hear each other singing, then we feel, Sankirtan all together. So nice. May not be so musical, but it's not just like couch potato. We're not just listening. We're participating. So thank you very much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. So we chant one time Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for thanking Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. His Holiness Mahavishnu Swami Maharaj ki jai. Jagat Guru Sil Prabhupada ki jai.
Sri Lokeshwara Prabhu ki. Is that you?
No, Maharaj, I'm Vyasadeva Das.
Oh, Vyasadeva Das ki jai. Gauranga. Vanchakalpa Truvhyascha. Kripa Sindhubhyevacha. Patitanam Pavanebhyo. Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Vaishnava Bhakti Ki. Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj ki.
Jai.